What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another video. So there is a lot of stuff going on lately that I need to talk about. We got trailers being released, castings being released, movies are about to start coming out soon and stuff like that. And so I want to go ahead and take this time just to go over everything with you guys, like on what are my thoughts on everything that's come out over in Comic-Con. Let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in order of like what I think is getting the least amount of hype to the most amount. The first thing, what I think is not getting a lot of talk about right now, I think it's probably the new trailer for DC's Clayface. I know a lot of people are not really excited about that, but honestly, I can't wait for it to come out. I think it'll be a nice take, like a little horror film mixed in with like a little bit of mystery there and stuff like that. I know that there's some people who believe that like villains really shouldn't get origin stories and stuff like that. But I think as long as you're not trying to change their story to where you make them feel more like an anti-hero rather than a villain, then I'm okay with it. Because just like how superheroes don't just become superheroes for no reason, it's the same thing for supervillain. Like any villain at all, you are that way because of something that happened to you in your life. I would actually love to see a lot of different supervillain takes and movies and stuff like that, showing us their background and the decisions that were made by them or to them that made them be who they are. Like I think that's a great idea, and I can't wait for Clayface. I think it looks really good. I also love that it ties into Creature Commandos. So, like, even though it probably won't have like a direct tie-in to that, we at least know that this Clayface is the same Clayface. I do like how they're able to tie in their TV shows and the movies. I think they're gonna have a whole lot more success in doing that than what Marvel has been trying to do over the past few years. Next up, I am going to go ahead and talk about something that was released during, Comic-Con just recently, and that is that we have Ryan Gosling playing Ghost Rider. Honestly, I really don't know how to feel about this. I personally don't watch a lot of Ryan Gosling movies. Like, I think off the top of my head, all I can think of is Barbie and Project Hail Mary, which honestly, he did great in both of those movies. I just can't see him with like the gritty action star. I'll have to do some research and travel down his videography and see if there's any good action movies or anything like that. But like, if they were going to choose somebody close to Ryan Gosling, I would personally have like Glenn Powell. If I'm being honest, I've seen Glenn Powell in a lot of things lately. He did good in Twister, did good in Runaway Man, I think that was called. But I think he did really good in that, so I think he would have really pulled that off. But yeah, I think really just overall, we just have to trust that Kevin Feige and Sean Levy, just know what they're doing. And I think at the end of the day, it also just kind of depends on like the type of character that they're wanting this to be, because really the only Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider that we really have is like Nicolas Cage. Like a lot of people who hear Ghost Rider probably go to either Nicolas Cage, Johnny Blaze, or the Ronnie Reyes and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I think it all just depends on how those go. But I'm still going to watch it regardless. I know a lot of people lately, like, I guess we'll go ahead and tie this into this other part. People are also not too sure on, like, I think it's David Johnson as playing Black Panther's son. Like, people really aren't hooked on that either. And honestly, I don't see a problem with it. Because also, I trust Ryan Coogler. He's given us lots of great movies, even when he had a movie that was like having to pivot due to a passing of the main actor. Like, he still provided us a good movie for us to be entertained with and watch and still have a good time seeing it and stuff like that, and still being able to have emotional ties to those movies. So I trust Ryan Coogler. I really haven't seen anything that Mr. Johnson is in. I haven't seen The Long Walk yet, but I've heard that's good. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep during Alien Romulus. I wasn't really sold on that a whole lot. I just feel like we should really trust in the directors, producers, the casting directors, all these people who work on these movies. But we just have to trust that they know what they're doing and that they're just going to go ahead and give us a good movie. I feel like we shouldn't already be saying, "Oh, I'm not spending my money on that," or "I'm not going to go see that." Like, why are you saying that for? Like, if you're not going to go see it, guess what? Millions of other people will. Like, I saw somebody said that like the worst Marvel movie is, I think, like $200 million. People are still going out here and seeing these movies, so I feel like people are still going to go see those. So next up, I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the Doomsday trailer. That's been like the huge talk right now. I'm so excited for it. Like, I guess okay, so it does look really good, but I guess I have like mixed feelings about it. I know action wise that's going to be great, and I know certain characters are going to give us really good acting performances. Like already, I am completely hooked on Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. I think the accent that he's going with is so good, and I can just already imagine like the fear bringing like speeches that they usually give like these villains and stuff like that. Like in that accent, I can hear him giving probably one of the best speeches that we are probably going to hear from any villain in the MCU ever, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. But I also feel like it is going to be very confusing because like the difference between like the first few phases, like phase 1 through 4 and stuff like that, is that like not only did we only get movies where people were introduced, like their origin film, but we also had other movies that would key them into with other members of that team. For instance, whenever we had Falcon and Ant-Man, like even though we weren't actually like with him in that movie, it still gave us another moment in time to like have a memory with that. You know what I mean? Because now it just seems like with this next one, we have the Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, the X-Men whenever they bring them in. I'm just scared that there's not going to be any like emotional ties to this movie because of the fact that like we haven't really grown a relationship with any of these other characters. Now I am excited for like the fight scenes, like Gambit versus Shang-Chi. I thought that looks really good. I'm ready to see Mystique go at it. That looks really good. Really, all the X-Men, I'm super excited to see. I think that's going to be just like great to see them in it as well. I think this is just another moment where we just have to like just trust the directors and the team that they have going. Personally, the Russo brothers have not let us down yet when it comes to these Marvel movies. So I actually feel like we just have to go along with it and kind of just deal with it because I think no matter what happens, I think they will give us a fantastic movie. We know we're going to lose. Like Secret Wars has to happen. We have to get Battle World. So I feel like that's another thing. Like we shouldn't go into this movie thinking that like we're gonna get like a happy ending and stuff like that because we're not. Lastly, I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Spider-Man: Brand New Day. That comes out in a few days, and I'm super excited for it. It looks really really good. I think it's probably going to be the best Spider-Man movie ever. Like just live action wise, like any Spider-Man movie, I think it's going to be the best. Like I think you'll have the Into the Spider-Verse like animated movies, but then immediately after those is going to be Spider-Man Brand New Day. It looks really good. I think the action's going to go crazy. CGI is going to be great. I love seeing Punisher again. I'm never tired of seeing the Punisher. One thing I will say is like I get it. Yes, we all know that Sydney Sink is going to be Jean Grey, but I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't play her. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a lot of people who are very sold on her being Jean Grey, and they're sold on, they're gonna restart the X-Men and all that kind of stuff. But like, okay, answer me this: like, do we want a new take on the like X-Men First Class type of stuff? Like, are we not just like how we got tired of seeing, like the origin story of Batman every time or Spider-Man every time or stuff like that? Like, do we want to keep seeing the same X-Men that we just keep seeing, the Jean Grey, the Cyclops, especially if we're starting at like a younger age? I feel like we want to mix in some other stuff there. I would really love us to have it like to have an Iceman. Like we've only had one Iceman. I would love to have a live action Jubilee or, Sunspot, like the people who are in like the animated series like a Rogue, stuff like that. It's like I want to know from you guys, like, do y'all think that we're going to get the same X-Men lineup, just different actors and actresses? Or do you guys think all together they're just going to give us a completely different crew? Like maybe give us a few from the old team, like a Storm, maybe because like you have to understand, like, do we get a Wolverine still with the Sadie Sink gene? Because like the whole thing about the X-Men is also about their story too, and like the main part of their story is also like sometimes like that inner turmoil between them, especially when it comes to like the love triangle with Cyclops, Jean, and Wolverine. But if Wolverine is our anchor being over here and he's super old and we're just now getting a young Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Same thing for, Scott Summers. There's a lot of different things. Also, I would love for us to have a Havoc back. I don't know. Like, what's y'all's take on that? Do you guys think that They're just going to give us a whole new team. If you think we're getting a new team, who do you guys think should be our new X-Men team? What would the lineup be that you guys had? But yeah, I think that's everything, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for catching up with me. I'm gonna try to get more of these videos rolling out. Make sure to hit that follow button, like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And yeah, you guys have a good one.